Pod Return to the Waking Sands. We are a Final Fantasy XIV companion podcast where we explore the lore and story of Hydaelyn and beyond. My name is Jen, and I'm joined by my co-host and researcher.
I'm Levi.
Hi, Levi.
Why that sound?
I don't know, just felt right.
I'm sure people love that being...
It just felt right.
Set the tone, Jen's weird cramp
It is what
sound.
it is at this point, you know?
That's not incorrect, but also...
It is. I am who I am.
Also true.
Well, speaking of who Jen am doing the Moogles a lot recently.
I am doing the Moogles a lot.
But now we're done?
Now we're done. Well, after this, we'll be done.
Congratulations, Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing the Moogle Allied Society quests. Jen had a photo finish.
Yeah, like literally got there last night.
Congrats.
This was a few weeks in the making. Obviously, if any of you have done the Allied Society quests, it's work, you know? There's a lot of time. You can't just bang it out. You're only allowed to do so much during every day, so you've got to go back.
But Jen, this was more than a few weeks in the making. As you had tantalized us with last episode, there are a lot of prerequisite quests that go into this before you actually do the Moogle Allied Society.
An unbelievable amount of side quests are required to unlock this.
The prerequisite quests are the following. And bear in mind, these are vastly gold, beige, whatever requests. They're side quests, not even blue quests.
Yeah, no, so...
You have breaking form of this game. You have beige quests leading into blue quests somehow.
Diabolical.
Correct. So, the list is, before you can begin Moogles, you must have completed A Pebble for Your Thoughts, Spineless Wadgets, Far From Home, A Nutty Initiation, Protecting the Palm, Save the Palm Guard, An Urgent Message, A Moogle's Intuition, An Uneasy Feeling, Trouble at Zenith, Into the Mists, Bitter is the Night, Cleaning House, Finders Keepers. These things take time.
Oh my god.
Lol. An Unwelcome Surprise, A Meter Too Far.
Which is all of them.
There Be Dragons.
Hey!
Laying the First Brick.
Okay.
Once you do all of those,
okay, finally.
Then the Moogle Society quest unlocks.
Then you have the privilege of more weeks of work.
Mooglin. But as Jen had complimented me on last time, I microdosed her with these unlocks over many months during MSQ. So it's like, oh, look at that. There we go.
There we go.
Time to mainline Moogles for 4 weeks.
Yeah, then you lulled me into a false sense of security when I went to go level up a crafter. I'm like, all I have to do is go do some Moogle shit for a little bit. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
My main, she doesn't like side quests. She really doesn't like them.
I know.
Otis is all about it.
Good. That's who you should be doing them on, because this stuff does chain down the line.
Yeah.
So do your shit on your pod character.
I have been.
Good.
Sometimes because I have to, and other times because, honestly, I don't like seeing the garbage on the map.
Seeing the garbage.
Dude, okay. So I went to the Turning Mists on Tar to go do some quick Moogle crafting, and then realizing I made a huge mistake. I saw that one of the Moogle whistle stones or whatever, not the Moogle books, Jesus Christ.
The flight stones.
The Chocobo.
Yeah.
I still hadn't unlocked that. The little yellow thing was still...
Shameful.
Yeah, it was like years and years.
Shameful.
I just like, oh, yeah. Would you like a Chocobo ride? No. I can fly, bitch.
Yeah. One quick announcement before we get going. We have a 2-week break coming up here after this episode. So in the interest of keeping the pipeline going, we have opted to break what's going to be a very beefy Moogle-themed episode into 2 parts. And for the second week of our being out, we're going to drop an episode from the Patreon archives. So there'll be stuff in your feed every week, and then we'll be back with new original content at the start of April. May.
We're in April.
Thank you, Jen.
Currently, yeah.
I could not recall.
Welcome to the month.
Thank you. So anyway, that is all. Just need a little break here. So 2-part Moogle episode just to give you a bit more consistency, and then 1 Patreon episode from the archives, and we're back.
Baby.
Moving on. As we all know, Moogles are the disciple of the Hand Society, and it's a very efficient way to rack up that XP. I brought my remaining jobs on my pod character to level 60 by doing this quest chain, and then I threw some XP in the trash because it's not worth shit after getting to 60. So I now have all crafters at 60 across the board, easy.
Good for you.
Thank you. Though you don't sound like you're appreciative.
Oh, was that obvious?
Yes. I mean, you do too, I assume, after having done all this stuff.
I leveled 3 crafters, like 50 or 52 to 60. And I think I still have a couple that are in the high 40s, so I couldn't do them. Probably like culinarian or some shit, because that's always the last one I do. It's such a pain in the
I wonder
ass.
why. Jen, the devs have to some extent reined in the quest bloat from A Realm Reborn because you're not doing 12 quests a day. You're capped at 3 per day, no matter what tier you're on.
Yeah, which is nice because it's like, just give us the max amount of XP or rep that we would get with fewer quests. Because like before, we'd have to go to like 3 different people in the camp or wherever. And they would be like escalating levels of rep. Like, here's the easy ones, here's the mid-tier ones, here's the harder ones. But
you could get them done faster. It's like 2.5 weeks maybe to do a Realm Reborn society. Now it was, again, 4 weeks.
Was it 4?
Question mark. Yes. Or more.
But it was more than that. That'd be ridiculous.
I agree. That would be ridiculous, but stay tuned.
I wasn't tracking. It just feels like.
That's a little tidbit for the end, so you can bookmark that mentally.
Great.
That said, though, Heaven's Ward is still hitting you very hard with the requirements. I believe that the requirements to get fully repped up to max are greater in Heaven's Ward than in future expansion society quests. I don't want to blow my surprise twist too early, but I'll say that for now, and we'll circle back later on.
Great.
Anyway, yeah, so it takes a lot of doing. Long story short, there may be fewer quests per day, but there are a lot of quests overall. Jen, a recap for you. I will own this one. For those who do not recall, the preceding side quests before the society is unlocked are about getting to know the Moogles and the churning mists in general. We learn that the Moogles are lazy, tricksy, and love Kupo nuts. We also learned more about their relationship with dragons and how they serve as caretakers of Zenith, though, as shown by its current state, it could use some more caretaking. And we also had a little Ishgardian foray into the churning mists, where they observed the ruins and volunteered some stonemasons to help with restorative work. And that's where we begin. We decide to check in on the restoration, where we meet a seething stonemason. God's damned Moogles, they lose their bloody pom-poms if they weren't attached to their heads. I can't find my nuts, Kupo. Find my pebbles, Kupo.
You want to know where your pebbles are? Well, I'll tell you. Right after I shove them up your bleeding.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Oh my goodness. This is the start of every one-man show ever.
So, yeah. I think I made that joke beforehand, but that's okay. You
Really?
can have that too. Yes.
Oh, well, great. I feel like I made it independently. Maybe you planted a seed. I don't know.
Anyway.
Jinx.
This guy has been doing some hella Moogle side quests, as we can tell. He knows what the deal is also.
Oh, no, we feel him.
Yep.
Like, I got you.
He explains that he was here to help restore the ruins, but he's been doing nothing but Moogle tasks, and he is fed up. So pray tell Mogcool he is leaving and he shan't return.
He shan't be returning.
He does not trust his temper to deliver the news himself.
This guy's mad.
We speak with Palmguard Mogcool and give him the news. It's no surprise. Though the Moogles are supposed to be learning stonemasonry, alas, they are more concerned with who can concoct the most clever trick than those who can build the sturdiest wall. It's just an impulse, like breathing or hiding. But the Ishgardians don't view it that way. Mogcool wishes to apologize to Sir Handaloop himself, who is undoubtedly regretting his offer of assistance. But would we guide Mogcool to Ishgard, he gets ever so lost on long journeys. We agree, of course, and set off for the congregation of our knights most heavenly. For his part, Handaloop has been hoping to speak with us, for each stonemason has returned within a fortnight more wroth than the last. They claim the Moogles are proving to be less receptive of their teachings than they had anticipated, and Mogcool assures him that they only meant to make the stonemasons feel welcome by including them in their mischief. He swears on his honor as a palm guard that it will not happen again. That's not a bet I would take, Jen. But Handaloop, though gracious, fears he has run out of willing assistance. But a mysterious stranger interjects. You haven't sent every stonemason, Sir Handaloop, and we look over to see an aged, white-bearded Elizan. Lord Terrason replies, surely you can surmise why I'm here. Every one of those thin-skinned milksops was a pupil of mine. How would it reflect upon me if I let their negligence bring this project to ruins? Besides, this task came to us directly by the Holy See, and failure would result in my family becoming laughingstock for generations to come. You see, for both personal and familiar honor, I must take up my hammer and succeed where my students have failed. Alas, I am well past my prime. Alone, I fear I might fall victim to the clever deceptions of the Moogles. Perhaps with the help of a young, stout adventurer, one who has won the respect of the Moogles, one who is well versed in their ways. Only with such a partner could this old man possibly hope to keep his honor from being sullied. Do you, he looks at us, know any such adventurer's friend? Pray tell that you do. And we say yes, we know one or two. But, like a stonemason falling for a Moogle's prank, we have taken the bait. Attaboy, or lady, as the case may be, this strapping young person has put their name forth without a second thought. Truly, you have brought solace to an old man's heart. He has found our weakness, peer pressure, so we're now all in for 4+ weeks. Mogcool is ecstatic about receiving our aid, and Terrason requests that he gather the Moogle volunteers. He'll be along as soon as he takes care of one project. Once Mogcool leaves, he bids us meet him in the Jeweled Crozier. We are going to hatch our own scheme to trick the Moogles. Terrason asks us what motivates them, and we explain the value of Kupo nuts. So their makeshift economy revolves around these Kupo nuts? Why, this plan practically crafts itself. Speaking of crafting, he has us craft a fake lifelike Kupo nut. And this is our crafting tutorial quest here. So we are given materials. If we fuck up, we get more for free. And we must craft a special recipe for this quest alone. So we make the fake lifelike Kupo nut, and we pass it on. There are no special gloves, no special workbench. You can just shit it out wherever you want to.
Yeah, which is great.
There is a paragraph of tutorial text explaining this, and it takes pains to encourage you to gear up if you have to, buy some gear, whatever. If you can't craft the thing takes like 2 button presses to craft. We have made a delicious looking nut, but it's made of steel. Terrason appreciates our work. He's going to mass produce these guys, and we're going to go on ahead to Zenith. We regroup there, and our efforts are stymied immediately as Mogcool reports that all of the Mogmenders have urgent business elsewhere. They are all no-shows. Terrason, who arrives shortly afterwards, is not surprised. But he wonders which of the Menders are the most gullible of the lot. Well, that would be Master Mogzin, without a doubt. Kupo.
Oh no.
He is put in charge of the Mogmenders on account of his deft paws, but he falls for their tricks more often than not. One time he spent 3 days playing hide and seek while others gorged on Kupo nuts. With our mark made, it's time to enact our scheme. Why, when building a wall, we are taught that a single ill-placed brick can cause the whole structure to collapse. Master Mogzin may be our loose brick. We track him down, a bandana-wearing Moogle. He's got like sick flames on his bandana and goggles on his forehead.
Yeah, he's like straight out of American Chopper or something.
Yeah, American Chopper.
Deep cut.
For his next scheme, he gloats to himself, perhaps there is a rare sickness that strikes Moogles once every 100 years. He's cackling to himself, preparing to hatch this on the next poor stonemason when we approach. You're here already? Well, I mean, yes, a terrible, incurable sickness has spread throughout Mogholm. One last seen over 1,000 years ago. Once afflicted, our wings grow heavier than stones. We can do nothing but lie on the ground helpless until it passes. Well, shucks, goes Master Terracin. I guess we must postpone our work. And that's too bad, because I brought all these delicious Kupo nuts for the team as like a welcome gift. This immediately makes Mogzin backpedal. He's like, oh, I must have been mistaken. They were just napping. Just a lot of naps.
Yeah.
So Terracin has him gather all the Moogle menders to receive their bounty of nuts. The Mog menders all gather at Zenith. Terracin presents them with a luscious platter of Kupo nuts. Mogzin demands first dibs as leader of the Mog menders, and he floats forward. He noms this nut aggressively. Full mouth, no pause, just like fucking going to town on that thing, like a sloppy Joe.
As we say.
Yeah. But he is denied. That's not how a Kupo nut tastes. It's a fake. And Terracin gloats. Yes, my dear Mogzin, it seems the tables have turned.
Aha!
Indeed, these nuts were wrought by man, not by nature. And the Moogles are intrigued. I dare say that these would fool even Chieftain Moglin. Terracin waxes on. This is but a small sampling of our capabilities, friends. I have built towers and raised walls that rival the largest in the churning mists. Yes, even Zenith. You mean, the Moogles go, you can make Kupo nuts larger than these? Larger than Zenith? Perhaps I could, said Terracin, but I offer you something better. Pledge your paws to me, and I shall teach you how to craft aught you can imagine. And they are all in. If they can make such things, imagine the tricks they could pull. And this is the start of our daily reputation quests. Jen, are there any quests that you wish to highlight? In the early tier.
No, I don't think so.
Wow, lame.
I think I've done those in particular a lot. So I'm like weary. It's just like make training supplies and hand them out, and everybody's like, "Oh, thanks for making me a new thing."
Well, I'm with you. The first tier are not very interesting. It is make some shit for some Moogles.
Yeah, like I sent some Moogles out to go look at rubble to find anything cool. They're not back yet, so we go, and turns out they didn't really find much cool. But apparently, the uncool stuff we could cobble together with our amazing artisan skills into something somewhat cool.
Cool.
That's about how it goes, yeah.
Well, I hope that you are charmed by more down the line.
Well, there's one in particular, yeah.
Okay, great.
All right. Well, after a bit of time, Terracin, again, an awkward name, so Terracin. It's like, is it like frisson?
I've been calling him Terracin for 20-something minutes, Jen, and you do not correct me, so...
I was with Harrison. Well, I don't know. Yeah.
Great.
Terracin, we'll just continue that.
Thank you.
He needs us right away. Well, the Mogmenders have turned a new leaf. They are industrious AF. They've taken to the tenets of stonemasonry much faster than he anticipated. Once the rubble is cleared, we can begin rebuilding in earnest. But we have huge piles of rubble that can't be cleared by just the menders because they have wee, teensy little paws. So Terracin reached out to the Moogles of Asa, but he hasn't heard back. Likely because they're not down for any hard labor. Surprise. Therefore, he instructs Mogzin to use some Moogle trickery on them to bring them to Barlays. Mogzin doubts his ability to do so, and, well, Terracin agrees. Don't lose heart, he says to Mogzin. Your ideas only fail because they are half-formed, marred by compromise, and poor planning. Oof. You must persevere. Terracin's home state has a saying, by the 100th blow. A single strike of a chisel only scratches a stone's surface, but through perseverance and effort does it transform into a brick, then a wall, and at last an impregnable fortress. This is suitably inspiring for Mogzin. Well, despite Mogzin's affirmation, Terracin believes he'll need some backup. So we're off to speak with Mogup, the head of the Asa faction. Mogup vaguely remembers a request for something from someone. Moving rubble or some such. Oh, right, you needed them at Barley's. Ah, well, who could forget such a weird name, he says. Oh, well, that's probably why no one showed up. I fear I may have dispatched a bunch of Moogles to the wrong location. They must still be out there, wandering the wastes, all alone, amidst predators with no provisions. He curses himself in his clumsy tongue. He thinks finding them and bringing food will reinvigorate their desire to help. Sure, yes, absolutely. Mogson doesn't flinch at this excuse and offers some empathy. We'll get right on finding those lost Moogles for you, Mogup. Yes, sirree. He asks that the two of us confer below before embarking on this journey. Thankfully, Mogson recognizes this as a trick, as he's fallen for it twice before. But how to get the better of him this time? If only we hadn't already blown our load with the fake Kupo nuts, we could use them again. But
Jen,
wait.
blown our nuts is right there.
I feel like we're going to get kind of tired of nuts and
I hope not,
testicles
because Jen, no one's saying testicles. We're talking about nuts. And I hope you're not tired because we have many nuts to come.
Oh my god. I'm moving on. I'm going to move on now. But wait! Asa is pretty far from Mogholm. I doubt the Moogles here have heard of them. Alright, let's not mess with something until it's broken. Remember Terrason's words, Mogzen. It's time for you to devise your own trick. A trick so tricky that Mogup will be the one too embarrassed to show his face at the next harvest feast. No, Mogzen will trick the trickster with this one weird trick. But he'll need help from the resident Moogle alchemist, Moghan, who we have met before. Mogzen tells Moghan he needs his strongest potions, for he was going into battle. Also, he's brought Moghan a gift. Moghan begins to protest, saying he couldn't possibly just hand over his strongest potions. Wait, are these Kupo nuts? They're huge, he cries, huger than Chieftain Moglin's private reserve. He pauses for a moment.
They're huger than Chieftain Moglin's nuts.
I swear to God. He pauses for a moment. These are just gifts, right? He asks Mogzen. You wound me, Mogzen replies. I would never. You shall have your medicine, Moghan says, but with a caveat. Don't use too much. So we return to Mogup atop his gleaming stone pillar. Apparently he's been out searching for the team of poor, lost, hungry Moogles this whole time, looking under every rock and in every crevice, and he's worked up quite a thirst, Kupo. Now he knows what the others must feel. It's tearing me apart, Kupo. Mogzen raises the white flag in surrender to the master trickster. He is so impressed that he brought some Kupo nut milk for everyone to enjoy. Mogup gleefully accepts and goes to share the bounty with the others. Mogzen and I follow behind and observe the lazy Moogles and Mogup as they dance triumphantly around the bottles of nut milk. Quickly, Otis! So now we're perched on this cliff and we're watching this whole thing go down, and I'm like, this seems kind of fucked up. Like, the Moogles tricking each other is, like, borderline dangerous.
Don't judge their culture, Jen.
I'm judging it.
This is their society to which we are allied.
So, thank you. So the lazy Moogles and Mogup, their ringleader, so there's like these bottles full of nut milk on the ground, and they're like dancing around them in a circle. It's like some weird ritual. And so Mogup, he's cheering his comrades, "Drink deep, my friends, and bask in victory." And they all drink deeply of the milk. There's something amiss with this nut milk. Mogup barely has any time to register that Mogzen got the better of all of them this time before he falls into a deep sleep. On the cliff above, Mogzen watches as every Moogle plops into a slumbering ball. "Look, Otis, and bear witness to a Mogmender's guile." He flies to each one and whispers sweet somethings into their ears, subliminally convincing them that a working Moogle is a happy Moogle, and from sunup to sundown you'll work up a sweat with nary a frown. After each Moogle has been subliminally convinced into labor, they wake up with a start, and a fresh perspective on the benefits of hard work. However, by the time we're back in Barlays, each and every Moogle has collapsed on the ground. Unfamiliar with hard labor as they are, after collectively shifting a single rock, they succumbed to exhaustion. Mogzin has a cure, though. They have a cloud mallow fever. And the only prescription is more cloud mallow. So we hop on a puff, ride it over to them, and shake some fluff all over their limp bodies. And just like that, they're ready to get back to work. And now we've got a sweet little, supply shack at the site. We've, developed a little mini development after this step. I'm like, oh, look at that. We got a shack with supplies. We got
supply shack.
We got a
gin roof. Rusted. The cloud mallow is the mount for this society.
I got it.
Congrats, Jin.
Feels
I'm
good,
not
man.
super fond, honestly. You're just kind of spread eagled on this giant floating flower.
I love it. I love it when there's a custom, just sitting on a mount. Which is most
sitting on a mount.
Yeah. Sitting on a mount.
Cool. Well, our work proceeds onwards, but we have run into another challenge. The Moogles lack the strength to lift even the wall's heavy bricks of foam, let alone stack them on top of each other. In Ishgard, they would use levers and pulleys to get the job done, but their design is unfit for Moogle proportions. Mogzin has an idea, calling on the dragons for help. And he is friends with one such dragon. It'll be easy to enlist their aid. Just give him a moment to fetch the dragon and, ta-da, we are returned, Kupo. Meet Old D. And we are introduced to a tiny little dragonling. So, Old D goes, these are the ones who need my strength. They are so wingless. Nonetheless, any friend of Mogzin is a friend of mine. I'm at your service. Terracin humors Old D. By the Fury, if you were not Mogzin's friend, I would be trembling in my boots.
Oh.
I was made to believe you could hurl boulders through the skies with but a flick of your powerful claws. Is that true? Of course, goes the dragon. The blood of the great worm Hraesvelgr courses through my veins. In just 3 centuries, even the most colossal stone will be as a pebble in my claws. Sadly, we don't have 3 centuries for Old D to grow up. More like young D. So maybe he considers we can ask his older brother for help. And we head off to find said brother, a medium-sized dragon, but bigger than any of us. He does not want to deal with our bullshit, though. His name is Way Off, and he challenges us. He's heard tell of the Moogles playing at being stonemasons. This I know. He doesn't care how or where we conduct our games, or who you choose to imitate. However, he will not be made party to such whimsy. But Mogzin swears up and down that they are for real. And fine, says Way Off. If you are truly a crafter, then craft something for me. That which cannot speak, yet can be heard. Present it to me, and my strength shall be yours. Honestly, Jen, most things cannot speak but can be heard.
Yeah.
This is not a very good riddle.
No.
But we take it to heart.
He's still kind of young.
And decide to craft an instrument. So Mogzin has always been partial to tooting the horn himself, so crafting one should prove simple. To us, he entrusts a supplemental task. And this is one of those things that is tailored to your current crafting job. I was playing as alchemist, so I am charged to make grease to polish the horn.
I don't think that changes.
I guarantee it does.
Really?
Yes.
Let's see. Who was I doing?
They customize the craftables based off your job. So if you're...
Oh, I think I was also doing alchemy. So, okay, that checks out.
Great. I assume that culinarian also gets the alchemy shiz as well.
Yeah.
Cook down some grease.
I wonder what Weaver would get. That'd be weird. A nice
probably like a
holding case.
Exactly, yes.
A polishing cloth.
That too.
Okay.
That or that.
All right, we got its number.
Yes. This feels like a kid brother task to me. You can help, just not in a way that matters. You will not touch the core product.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're helping, I swear.
Oh, you're helping.
So we're happy, though, to see Mogzin take the lead. He's here to grow after all. We're already a pro crafter. And the horn satisfies Way Off. A horn does not speak, yet it can be heard from even the highest peaks. It would seem my trial was simple before the combined efforts of man and Moogle. I am impressed. And old D, though happy his brother's helping, does not understand why a horn is so important. How much you have yet to learn, though I'm sure that you were taught once before that our songs are as roars to the ears, so alien and unfathomable. So it was that Hraesvelgr bequeathed a magic to men, that they may fashion sacred instruments to join in the chorus. The horn here is entrusted to the Moogles, and to summon his aid we must but toot the horn.
But toot.
Yes, but toot indeed, Jen. And we set to work. The wall around the plaza is constructed with the dragon's aid. And now is when we get the fun daily quests entering the rotation. Now that there has been some track laid, some stones set, the Ishgardian stonemasons dare to re-enter the project.
Yeah, we have some temple knights that have come to, to help out.
Yep.
Now that it's safe and there's actual work getting done.
And they decide to prank the Moogles back themselves.
Oh, this is one of my favorite ones.
Great, hit us, Jen.
It's absolutely ridiculous. So the temple knights, because they've heard that Moogles like doing tricks and stuff, they're like, oh, we're going to trick these Moogles. And they're so excited to trick Moogles. One of the guys, he's like, okay, you discuss with what's-her-face on the mechanics of building this thing that we need for a trick, and I'm going to go scout a location. So he bails, and he's like gleeful about it. And the woman we talked to, she's like, okay, we're going to make exploding Koopo nuts. So they're going to go up to these Koopo nuts, and they're going to look like they can eat them, and then when they go to eat them, they're going to blow up. Yeah, so we make bombs that look like Koopo nuts. And we go meet up with Guy, and he's like, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna put them right here in the middle of the path. And then when the Moogles are gonna come up, and they're not gonna be able to resist them. So I put them down on the path, and we're hiding behind this tree. The Moogles are like, oh, look at this. Or just Koopo nuts just lying around. Nobody, finders keepers. And then when they blow up and they're on the ground and they're prone and they're like, oh, we got caught. And as soon as they blow up, the Temple Knight guy is just ecstatic. He's just like, ha, 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 suck it, Moogles. Yes. He's so fucking stoked. And these poor things are just on the ground. But great success. The Moogles did appreciate it. They're like, oh, I see. Okay. All right. Game recognizes game. Yeah, I see you. So a nice bonding moment for everybody.
Yeah. All right, Jen, that's about the halfway point for us. This is a good place to break for our two-parter.
Yeah.
Well, we'll save our commentary for the actual end next time. So without further ado, Jen, please take us out.
And that will do it for today's episode. Thank you all so much for listening. And balls. If you want to get in touch with us, you can at podreturnffxiv@gmail.com. We are on the Blue Sky at the same tag. Check the show notes for our Discord. If you wanted to join us for some group runs, people are coordinating shit all the time. Share some pictures of your pets, your glams, talk about random crap. Everybody is so fucking lovely, and we would love to have you. There's a link to the official pod t-shirt with artwork done by Levi. And last but not least, the Patreon, patreon.com/podreturnffxiv. And for $1 or $2 a month, you get access to the other stuff that we do. Seasonal events from 14, random shit like the tabletop RPG, Mahjong. And for $2 a month, you get access to our bonus series, Sightseeing Log, where this season I'm playing Final Fantasy VI for the first time and sharing my experience with Levi. And with that, we hope you enjoyed the episode. Have a good day or night, and we will see you next time. Thank you for subscribing to Dragon Facts. Did you know that dragons are so cool. I wish I could be a dragon and burn this whole motherfucking office to the ground. And fuck you, Brenda. If I were a dragon, I wouldn't have to stay in this shitty apartment, and I'd probably have like a really cool car. And because I can fly around, because dragons are just so cool. And I just let me say what I want to say about dragons. I love dragons. I want to be a dragon. I love you.
The views expressed in the preceding message do not represent those of the Learning Association. We do not endorse or take responsibility for any statements made as part of the Dragon Facts Educational Broadcast Series. The Dragon Facts Educational Broadcast Series is suspended pending further review. Goodbye.